What the hell is wrong with my GPU? 17 years ago, this thing was an absolute monster, the kind of GPU people dreamed of owning. But now, it's basically a fossil. So I had to ask myself, what happens if I try gaming on it today? Can a 17-year-old GPU actually run modern games in 2025? Or will it just give up the moment I hit Start Game? In this video, I'm bringing this old-school legend back to life to see what it's really capable of. We're gonna test it, stress it, maybe even break it, all to find out. Is a 17-year-old GPU still any good? Or should it stay in the museum where it belongs? This right here is the Gigabyte GeForce 9600 GT. And man, this thing looks straight out of 2008. It's got that old-school industrial vibe. Bulky, all metal, and somehow still kind of cool. The biggest flex? That massive multi-core cooling setup. No fans, no RGB, just two chunky aluminum heat sinks connected by copper heat pipes. Pure silent cooling. Back then, this was actually considered premium. The whole card feels like a solid block of metal built just to fight heat. And check out the I/O. 2 DVI ports and a good old S-Video TV out. Yeah, S-Video. The kind you'd use to hook up to your grandma's CRT TV. It's wild how far we've come since then, but you gotta admit, there's something oddly satisfying about holding one of these old beasts. You can still find these on eBay today, usually going for around 20 bucks. And honestly, the newer versions look way more modern than this old Gigabyte one I've got here. Alright, time for the real test. Let's plug it in and see if it even works. Oh wow, it actually posted on the first try. That's kinda crazy for something this old. But after a few minutes, yeah, not good news. The screen started flickering and showing artifacts everywhere. Classic GPU issue. So I switched over to the second output port, and surprisingly, everything looked totally fine again. I thought maybe the first port just had some dust buildup, so I gave it a quick clean and tried again. And nope, still the same problem. At this point, I'm just gonna ditch that broken port and keep testing with the one that actually works. Alright, let's fire up GPU-Z and take a look inside this ancient piece of tech to see what it's packing. So this thing's running the G94 GPU, built on the good old 65 nanometer process. Yeah, that's how far back we're going. It's rocking GDDR3 memory, which was pretty standard back then. Now, some versions of this card only came with 512 megabytes of VRAM, but luckily the one I've got here is the 1 gigabyte model. As for power, it's got a TDP around 95 watts, and yep, it actually needs a 6-pin power connector. Pretty hungry for something from 2008. When I played a video at full HD, everything looked surprisingly smooth. The GPU was only working at around 25 to 30% usage, barely breaking a sweat. Bumping the resolution up to 2K, usage climbed to about 40 to 50%. And yeah, the playback wasn't quite as silky anymore, but honestly, to